Perfect. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what cryptocurrencies are and how you can, start to profit and really become a smart and profitable investor. All right. So again, we see the hype on social media. We see everything going on, but we might not understand the hype. And that's what's really, really important, because I've heard a lot of people say, hey, I know what's going on, but can somebody just please explain to me what cryptocurrency is, right? So we're going to start with the basics. All right, what is cryptocurrency? And it's simply just a digital or virtual currency designed to work as a medium of exchange. So in a nutshell, it's like your US dollar. Or if you're not from the US, it's like your Canadian dollar, your Japanese yen, your Mexican peso. Okay, every time you go to the store, maybe it's your credit card, maybe it's your debit card. Every time you swipe, right, you're swiping, that's your medium of exchange to get your groceries or your shoes or your clothes or whatever the case may be. Or even with the way technology works, sometimes we're not even carrying cash or credit cards. We're simply just tapping our phones at the register, and that's working as our medium of exchange. So with cryptocurrency, it's a currency that's digital. It's virtual. You can't touch it. You can't hold it. You can't take it and put it into your pocket, right? It's completely digital. And that's the type of technological world that we're moving into, okay? Now, the second step to that, why people favor cryptocurrency is because it's secured by cryptography. Now, all that just means is that it's basically impossible to counterfeit or double spin. So I know a lot of times people might see some type of fraudulent activity on your credit cards, your bank statements, and things of that nature. But with cryptocurrency, it's kind of impossible to see any type of fraudulent activity or counterfeiting or stuff like that. All right. So overall, this just ensures confidentiality and strict integrity. And that's why a lot of people are favoring this huge transformation to your cryptocurrency, your digital currencies. All right. So now that we got the basics out of the way, let's just talk about purchasing power a little bit. All right. I just want to compare your US dollar or your Japanese yen, your Canadian dollar, right? All of that fiat currency. I want to compare it to cryptocurrency and why this is super, super important. All right. So with purchasing power, let's just go on an example trip, back in the 1980s. Let's just say that everybody on this call, we went to a particular grocery store in the 1980s and we brought $5. Now in the 1980s, $5 could get you a lot of stuff. All right, you can get a good bang for your buck with $5. So let's say we go to the grocery store. This little picture here is kind of just signifying what we're getting. All right, in a nutshell, we got this brown paper bag with groceries overflowing. All right, you can't even fit everything into the grocery bag. That's in the 1980s. But if we fast forward to 2018, just a few years ago, we take that same $5 bill and go to the same grocery store. We can't get the same bang for our buck. All right, and we can see through this example right here that our purchasing power with the US dollar actually decreases as time increases. All right, let's fast forward a little bit more. Let's say, about 9 years, almost 8 years from now, in the year 2030, if we take $5 and we go to the same grocery store, we're getting less bang for our buck. All right, I joke around with a lot of people saying, like, with the way inflation works and taxes and all these other things, $5 might just be enough for taxes, depending on what state you live in, or it might just be good enough for the grocery bag. Because now, with everyone going green, you get charged for your grocery bag as well. So we can see that as time progresses, our purchasing power with the US dollar decreases. So I challenge you guys, right? If next time you go to the grocery store, hold on to your receipt. Just hold on to your receipt, store it, and then 2 months later, when you go back to the grocery store, you buy the same exact thing, right? Compare the different prices of what you're paying for. The way your purchasing power is decreasing, it's decreasing at a much faster rate than it was in the past. All right. So now we got a good idea of what type of power you have with the US dollar. But let's just flip the switch to cryptocurrency. All right. Let's talk about Bitcoin specifically. When it comes to Bitcoin, it's kind of the opposite because your purchasing power is going to increase. Now, Bitcoin was created at the end of 2009, early 2010, right? And so back in 2010, if you had just one Bitcoin, you would get a good amount of groceries, right? You would get a good amount of groceries. We see the bag is overflowing. Now, if we fast forward to 2018, just 8 years later, the price of one Bitcoin, it increased. And therefore, your purchasing power also increased. So now, in 2010, one Bitcoin got you groceries. But in 2018, one Bitcoin is getting you, a decent sized car, maybe a good used car, right? Purchasing power is going up. That's That's what we want with when it comes to our wealth, when it comes to our assets, right? And we fast forward just a little bit more to 2030, right? One Bitcoin is probably going to be, good enough to get you a nice piece of property, right? Maybe even a huge mansion. I mean, today, as we speak, Bitcoin is about between $60,000 and $61,000. What could you get in today's time with $61,000? Right. So I hope that was a good example, kind of just painting the picture of what purchasing power can do for you and what side of purchasing power you want to be on. We want to be on the side where your purchasing power is increasing and not decreasing, right? So if that didn't make sense, let's break it down a little bit. Let's make it a little bit more basic. Let's say you had $100 bill and you put that $100 bill in a safe in 2010. Okay. Now, if you come back and I know it says 2020, but if you came back in 2021 today, November 17th, and you opened up that safe, guess what? You still have $100. Nothing has changed about it, right? The value is the same. However, if you had a Bitcoin in 2010, which was valued at just 8 cents, and we came back today in 2021, November 17th, 2021, and you opened up your safe, your Bitcoin is about $61,000. That's what you want with purchasing power. You don't want to have $100 in the bank or $100 in your safe. You come back and it's still $100. You want to come back over time and see exponential growth with your assets, right? With your investments. So that's another basic way of explaining, the purchasing power. Now, in a nutshell, the world in general has been moving to a more technological era, right? And so what we want to do is we never want to bet against innovation. So before we even have the US dollar, cash money, coin money, credit cards, Apple Pay, all these other phenomenal technology advanced currencies, we used to trade gold, right? Physical gold was how we actually purchased things, right? But from gold, today we're at Bitcoin, we're at cryptocurrency, virtual things, right? Back in the day, way before any of our parents and grandparents were here, right? Physical mail, you got to put someone on a horse, send them across, the country to get mail. Maybe you sent a bird across the country to get mail, right? Today, you don't have to use, UPS or any of the other postal services. You can send an email, you can send a text, you can call people on FaceTime, you can call people on just a regular phone, right? Again, this is another technological advancement, right? When I was growing up, we lived outside, right? Me, my neighbors, my sisters, my cousins, right? We all lived outside. We actually played we actually played physical games, right? In today's world, I don't think kids actually know what the sun looks like because kids, they're on TikTok, they're on social media, they're playing their video games, whatever the case may be, right? We see this huge technological advancement. And then last but not least, what the pandemic has shown us the most is that you don't even need to physically be at work to be productive for whatever type of organization or company you work for, right? A lot of the things that we're doing is we're in a predicament where we can now work virtually, right? We can work directly from our bed, from our couch, right from our home. And so all of this is just an example of a huge technological advancement, and you want to be ahead of it when it comes to Bitcoin, all right? So what most people think is that when it comes to any type of cryptocurrency, dang, I'm kind of late to the party, right? Most people think they're late. I mean, Bitcoin is at $61,000. I don't know what else to do. I think I missed it, right? But I want you guys to know, if you're tuned in on this call right now, it is not too late to start investing. We're actually all early adopters, all right? So when we look at the bigger picture, we're not even at the peak of what cryptocurrencies can do. You are still ahead of the game. Remember what I said, a lot of people on social media see the hype, but they're not educated about the hype. And that's exactly what we're going to do today, is we're going to educate you about cryptocurrency, right? Now, just to put this into a full world perspective, all right, you have NFL quarterback Aaron Rodgers, who, has selected to get a portion of his salary in Bitcoin. I mean, today we saw that the Lakers stadium, right, the Lakers in the Clippers stadium, Staples Center, is now going to be renamed the Crypto.com Arena, right? You may have seen even in the past that now the NBA has partnered with Coinbase, one of the top exchanges to go buy cryptocurrency. Or maybe a few weeks ago, you saw all the news about Facebook, right, transforming into now being called Meta, right, because they want to participate in the metaverse. Or maybe you saw that, the New York City mayor right? Mayor-elect, he's looking to get his first 3 paychecks in Bitcoin. Maybe you saw that, movie theaters are accepting Bitcoin. Maybe you saw that Nike is jumping into the world of the metaverse, right? Maybe you saw something about cryptocurrency. The more and more and more you start to see these headlines happening, is more of a reality check that this is something that you need to get involved in before it's too late, right? So with that being said, let's talk about DCX. Now, DCX stands for Digital Currency Exchange. Now, this is an educational platform that's going to teach you how to invest in cryptocurrencies. So for me at the age of 23 years old to walk away from my job, it happened directly through this educational platform right here. All right. Now, this platform has taught me about 6 different ways to make money with cryptocurrency. Most people think that, okay, if I build my portfolio, then my returns is going to be the way that I profit. And that's absolutely true. But that's just one way to make money out of cryptocurrency, right? This academy has taught me about 6 different ways, but I'm going to focus on about 3 tonight with you guys, all right? So number 1, this academy has taught me how do I trade cryptocurrency on the foreign exchange market. Right? Now, if you are familiar with the foreign exchange market, right, maybe you've heard about the real estate market, maybe you've heard about the stock market, but when it comes to the foreign exchange market, this is actually the largest financial market in the world, right? The largest financial market in the world. So when we talk about your stock market, the stock market circulates about $5.2 billion a day. That's a lot of money. $5.2 billion a day is flushing through the stock market. When we compare the foreign exchange market, this is a market that circulates between $5.3 trillion and $6.6 trillion every single day. Right now, the only thing that's going on within this the foreign exchange market is that it just holds the world's currencies. So your US dollars, your Mexican pesos, your Japanese yen, your New Zealand dollars, your Austrian dollars, right? All of the world's currency is fluctuating through this market on a day-to-day basis, right? You can also trade stocks on this market. You can trade, commodities such as oil and gold and silver, right? But what you can also trade is cryptocurrencies without actually owning it. And that's the benefit, right? Maybe you don't want to, actually own or acquire assets in cryptocurrency, but you can still trade it versus the dollar value and make money off of it, right? Now, that might sound complicated, but I'm gonna make it even simpler, right? If you've ever copied and pasted or copied someone's test in an exam or whatever the case may be, this is going to be the space for you, right? Because the top crypto educators in the world, right? And I got to say that again, the top crypto educators in the world are part of this platform. These are people who make a full-time living off of cryptocurrency. These are people who, for anyone that's very, very invested into cryptocurrencies, they look up to them as the gurus, and we have access directly to them. Every single time these top crypto educators in the world are placing a trade for themselves to benefit themselves, they send that same exact trading idea directly to us. Right? And it comes in the form of a text that looks just like this. So at the top, we can see BTC USD. That's an acronym for Bitcoin, right? They're telling us to buy it, right? We're going to buy it right now, buy by market. And guess what? They even give us the entries. Not one, but they give us 2 different entry points of where we can actually buy Bitcoin at 59,100 or 59,300. Anywhere between that, they're telling us to buy it, right? So we have a special trading app. It's called MT4. Anybody can download it, but until you get educated, you probably won't understand how it makes, how you actually navigate through it. But this academy is going to teach you that as well. So if you can copy and paste numbers from a money text like this, you can, you can see some results without actually owning any Bitcoin. So when the educator sends that text out, we're going to take these numbers. You see entry price, we see stop loss, we see take profit, right? Take profit is the number where when Bitcoin actually hits 62,000, this app is going to automatically take us out with profit, right? Whatever type of profit you make. But in the event, maybe it goes the opposite direction. The educator also gives us a stop loss, which means just what it says. It's going to stop our loss. So that way we have a minimal risk at all times. So as you can see in this app, stop loss is right here. We're going to copy the number and paste it into the app. We can see take profit is directly under it. We're going to copy the number and we're going to paste it in the app. And then the educator said, overall, we're buying by market. So now we know to simply just press that big blue button that says buy by market. So once you copy the number, You pasted the number. Now we're going to profit from what the educator sent. You didn't need to know anything about investing, any technical terms, but if you could copy and paste and do exactly what the top crypto educator in the world are telling you to do, then you can make a return on your investment, right? Now, of course, you don't want to just copy and paste all the time. I'm sure a lot of us, like myself, we want to get educated too. Like, how did the educator know that we were supposed to hop in? Where did they get these numbers from, right? Well, this is why we call this a learn and earn while you learn system. Because even though you didn't quite understand how the educator made those numbers, you were still able to make money, right? So if you're somebody that's always on the go, you can make money, but on your own time, when you're back at home, when you're on break, spring break, Christmas break, holiday break, maybe you just got off of work, you actually want to learn. Now we have an educational platform that's going to fill in all the service, right? Fill in all the gaps and teach you exactly what these educators know, so that way you can become your own walking ATM and you can create your own signals, right? Now, aside from that, that's one way that you can make money through cryptocurrency. Now, the more popular way is to actually build a portfolio. And this is where you actually buy your own cryptocurrency. You have full ownership and you're building a crypto portfolio, right? This is longevity investments, right? This is longevity investments. So let's jump right into it, all right? Same type of scenario. The educator is going to send you a money text, right? Just like this, they're going to send you a money text, right? This particular educator, Curtis Cobain, he says that, I want you to buy COMP/USD. So that just stands for compound, all right? So if we click in the app, right? So this is the app that you get access to. The educators are sending it directly to your phone. Once we see a notification like this, we're going to click this yellow mark, check mark, and we're going to get all the numbers that we needed in. So right here, we have comp/USD, right? Stands for compound. The educator, again, is telling us to buy this coin. And currently, at that current price, compound, another cryptocurrency. I know we all know about Bitcoin, but there's over 10,000 other coins that you can also invest into. Now, at the moment the educator sent this trading idea, the compound token, the compound cryptocurrency, was between $419 and $470. Now, here's something that most people don't know. The reason most people are afraid to invest into Bitcoin at $61,000 is because they think they need $61,000 to actually participate in it. That is not true. Our educators are going to teach you how, if you only have $10, if you only have $50, whatever you have, that's more than enough to start investing into the cryptocurrency space. You can buy just $10 worth of a Bitcoin. You didn't need to have $61,000. Any investment is going to help you see returns in the future. So for this particular cryptocurrency, whenever the price is between $470 and $419, he wants us to go ahead and buy it. Now, again, if you don't have $419, that's okay, because if you have $5, you can still invest into this cryptocurrency. All right. So now, instead of using the other app, which was MT4, now we're going to go into Coinbase. Most people are familiar with Coinbase and maybe crypto.com as other exchanges. But in Coinbase, you're going to search the compound USD token, right? And you're going to go ahead and make your purchase. And once you do that, right, you profit. And this is what your portfolio balance could look like, depending on what type of cryptocurrencies that you're investing in. Again, no income claims, but that's how easy it is. You're just copy, pasting, and profiting from the different educators. Now, what I want to do right here is I just want to show you some of the phenomenal results that our educational platform has already provided for a lot of people that participate in cryptocurrency investments, right? Now, what you see right here, these are a few of the cryptocurrencies that our educators made us aware of, so that way we can put it into our portfolio. Now, chances are you guys have never even seen these cryptocurrencies before. Most times that we hear about cryptocurrencies is through social media when it's already blown up, right? We're already late to the party, right? Most people know about Dogecoin. Most people know about Shiba. Most people know about Bitcoin and Ethereum, which have already made huge jumps. But most people probably haven't heard of an Aave or Kusama or Energy Web Token or REN, right? Which is, some of these, when our educator first exposed us to these, they were just a few cents, right? I mean, 15 cents. Maybe they were just $2, $1, 80 cents, 90 cents, right? But when you look at something like a Bitcoin that's already 61,000, wouldn't you have liked to know, have known to get into Bitcoin when it was just a few pennies? We'd all be millionaires if we knew that. We'd all be millionaires if we had that type of access. But right here, again, cryptocurrency that you probably never heard of, these are things that we're investing into. And so once it actually starts to make us return on your investment, that's when the rest of the world knows about it. Now, these percentages right here, these are the percent of your return on investment if you were to hop into these same trading ideas that our educators send out. I mean, it's phenomenal. You got Aave is already at a return on your investment at 164%. You have Curve, 202%. You have API 3, 142%. REN, 110%. Like, stocks don't even see these type of returns, right? And this happened in the span of just 3 months, right? In just 3 months, we saw these type of gains, all right? But it doesn't just stop there. We got more results coming, right? Robonomics, Aragon, Rocket Pool, right? All the way down here, Yield, 309%. Injector Protocol, 122%. Imagine putting your money into something that is guaranteed to give you some type of investment, right? On average, we see here that people on a part of our educational platform receive, over 70% gain in this example. And if we go back just one more, right, over 90% gain after investing into these cryptocurrencies. So what you have access to is truly phenomenal, and you're really getting information to cutting edge cryptocurrencies that nobody else has actually heard of, all right? Now, that's the second way that you can make money. We talked about how do you trade cryptocurrencies on your foreign exchange market. We talked about how do you grow a crypto portfolio and get money that way. But what we're also going to talk about is how do you invest into NFTs, something else that has been blowing up through social media. But guess what? It's nothing new. This is something that has been around for years, but now the masses are just starting to learn about it, right? So NFT simply just stands for non-fungible token. Now, in a nutshell, it's basically digital art. All right, it's digital art that cannot be duplicated. It cannot be replicated, right? So, for example, if we take a famous painting such as the Mona Lisa, only the original Mona Lisa is worth millions of dollars. If I wanted to copy it off of the internet and put it into my house and make it look like, I just got the wealthiest paintings in the world, if someone wanted to buy it off of my wall, it would have zero value, right? Now, NFTs is just digital art where you cannot duplicate it. You can screenshot it, but your screenshot's not going to have this a serial number that's going to prove that this is the original copy, right? So that's all NFTs are. And I want to just highlight some of the big companies that have already participated in NFTs, right? You have El Salvador, right, is a country that has already, accepted Bitcoin as a legal tender. People in the country can use it as a legal currency, right? You have Google, right, has inked a deal with an NFT company called Dapper Labs. So if you're not familiar with Dapper Labs, the NBA has already been investing into NFTs. They actually have a site called NBA Top Shot where you can, own your favorite player's NBA moment, right? Maybe your favorite player is LeBron. Do you know that whenever LeBron dunks, that exact moment right there, you can own it? Right? Whenever your LaMelo Ball has a crazy assist, that exact moment, you can own it, okay? You even have people in the movie industry creating NFTs, right? You have the NFL participating in the same partnership, right? Dapper Labs, which we just saw with Google and the NBA, right? Partnering with Dapper Labs. You have luxury companies such as Vogue participating in the NFT market, right? You have the famous James Bond series, a part of producing NFTs. Actually, quite a few people that I mentor have purchased a few of these NFTs and flipped them for over $1,000. Again, no income claims, but I just want to show you some of the big popular companies that have really been leaving their mark on digital art. So if you like being an artist, if you like investing into art, you can still see a lot of returns on that as well. And that's just the third way that you can make money within the Dcx Academy, the Dcx platform, right? So I already showed you guys 3 of the ways that you can make money. I already told you guys that not only will these educators basically be spoon feeding you different trading ideas to grow your portfolio, right? You have access to over 100 plus full-time educators where they're on demand, right? This platform right here called Go Live is simply just the Netflix of the world of trading. So anytime you're getting these different text messages about different trades to hop onto, these educators are also hosting live, right? Live trading sessions where they're analyzing the markets. They're teaching you how to analyze the market because it's all fun and games. It's all cool to copy and paste and profit from different people. But what if you could do that for yourself, right? Again, what if you could become your own ATM? If you can look at a chart, if you can look at a certain cryptocurrency and you just knew that that was the one that was going to blow up. These educators are leaving it all on the table so that way you can do it on your own. So when I joined this academy, of course I was copying and pasting these educators to make money, but now I can do this by myself. But of course, I'm not leaving the copy and paste on the table. I'm still going to take full advantage because who am I not to duplicate from the top crypto educators in the world, all right? So this is everything that you're going to have access to, all right? So that's a complete summary of the Dcx educational platform. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, Nicole, I see what you're saying. It looks exciting. Like, I'm really, really anxious to start learning about this cryptocurrency, but how do I actually get access to this? Right? How much would it even cost for me to do that? And, you know, I think there's an elite individual that I can bring up and pretty much explain this in further depth for you guys, right? Now, the reason I call this person super, super elite is because she actually exposed me to the world of cryptocurrency. If it wasn't for her, I'd probably still be in California working my job. Not that there's anything wrong with working a job, but if you found another opportunity where you didn't have to do as much work but still see an income, I'm pretty sure you would have took that as well. So this individual, again, when I did this 3.5 years ago, I was a sophomore in college. Okay, and that's when we actually crossed paths. I saw what she was doing, you know, had already graduated college, she got a job from Microsoft and a top 500 tech company, right? And speaking of Microsoft, they're doing phenomenal stuff in the cryptocurrency space and the NFT space as well, right? But I watched what she was doing at Microsoft, and you know, I was just so mind blown about what she did after graduating. But what really, you know, just sparked my eyes is that after just a year at Microsoft, she walked away, right? She walked away because of what she was doing in the cryptocurrency space, right? And that's unheard of. You don't see too many people doing that. Not only did she walk away when most people were losing their job in the middle of a pandemic. I watched her walk away from her job willingly. I watched her pay for her parents' house in cash. I watched her buy herself a car in cash, right? And then I watched her, you know, plant seeds and help other people do the same thing. Through her leadership and her guidance, I watched people, you know, pay off student loans. I watched people fund their businesses. I watched people take trips in the middle of the pandemic when the world was shut down. Like, she's a walking gym. And there's no better person that I could bring up here to really just lay the groundwork and explain how do you actually get access to that. So without further ado, Alicia, I thank you so much for, you know, exposing me to this place, for changing my life for the better, not just my life, but everybody that I've also introduced this to, my family and things of that nature. So I thank you. I appreciate you. And let's let them know, how do we actually get access to this information?
There we go. There we go. There we go. Had to get host switched over to me. But man, shout out to Nicole for literally, coming onto this platform in front of you all. It's about 9:30 Eastern Standard Time where we're located at here in DC. And, literally just pretty much giving you all a huge break, like the simplest breakdown of how this stuff actually works, right? I know a lot of you guys are seeing crypto all over, your timeline, Instagram, whatever the case may be. And shout out to Nicole because she's actually one of the individuals within this organization who took the step to really dive into crypto and, not only make sure that her own organization or her own team had the sauce that they needed to, get educated and take their portfolios and purchase NFTs and take the crypto space to the next level. But, she was such a servant leader that she decided to pour back into the entire organization, right? Over 2,000 plus people, right, are now getting educated, alongside herself and some of the top educators that we have access to. So, you guys literally just heard from a GOAT. In your head, you should be saying thank you because not everybody gets access to an individual who walked away from their job full time, moved back from California to the DMV area to literally pursue this thing and run it up, man. So I'm super excited, guys. Give me about 15 more minutes. I'm going to share my screen and get directly into, how much this stuff costs. What's the best way for you all to get started? Sorry, that's not it. And also, how you all are going to ultimately be able to leverage something like this, right? Because, if I had somebody telling me, hey, I have access to information that's going to let you know about, the next up and coming cryptocurrencies before they even hit $1, right? If I had access to information where I could now start to flip a comic book within less than an hour, right, directly from my cell phone, I would immediately have to ask the question, Nicole, how can I get started in something like this as fast as possible, right? But before I even go into that, I do want to take some time just to briefly talk about how wealth works in the entire world, because once you see these stats and facts, it's going to drastically alter how you look at making money for the rest of your life, ladies and gentlemen, right? So what we have to understand is that 60% of the population is actually working for somebody else as an employee, right? So similar to Nicole and myself, we started off making 6 figures straight out of college, right? And, the reason why we decided that we had to do something different is because we realized, look, in this world, you are either going to be working towards building your own dreams, or you're going to be working towards building, somebody else's. So, I had to make the decision to say, okay, I'm making decent money right now, but I can't just put my friends and family members in the position to go and do the same thing. I can't put my future kids in this same said position, right? And, when I was an employee personally, I used to be jealous of people in the 35%, right? People work for themselves, providing some type of service like makeup artists, tattoo artists, hairstylists, photographers. And the reason why I was jealous of them was because they had the ability to set their own prices on their services, and they could also make their own schedule. So I felt like they had more control over their life. But what I now realize is that, similar to employees, they are still trading their time for money, right? And since there's a limited amount of hours in a day, there's ultimately going to be a limit to how much money they can make, right? Because they can make the decision to say, okay, I'm going to take off this weekend and go to Cancun for a little trip, right? But while they're away from, doing hair, or, doing tattoos, or doing photography, whatever service it is they provide, they are no longer getting paid. So this is 95% of the population. And surprisingly, they only hold 5% of the world's entire wealth. So we have a saying here that we study the masses and do the opposite, because honestly and truthfully, we don't want to be like the 95%, right? We want to be like the 5% who is holding 95% of the world's wealth. And we look at what they do, they're actually investors or business owners, because these are people who are no longer trading their time for money. They're getting paid based off of past efforts or previous efforts, right? They position their money in a way where now they're using their funds to go out and create more money, right? So Nicole did a phenomenal job of breaking down, within one blanket of cryptocurrency, how there's 5 to 6 different lanes you could really step into and start to make money, right? And I'm going to talk about just here in a second how you all can establish residual income as an independent business owner within this space, right? And completely leverage the tax code in a phenomenal way, right? So of course it takes money to make money. I'm going to start off with not our most expensive package. I'm actually going to start out with the Dcx package, because that's the only package we're talking about today, right? We do offer a package with different styles of trading, but we wanted to put the focal point on cryptocurrency today because we understand that a lot of people are interested in it, right? Now, I don't even want you all to pay attention to the price on this slide, because, Nicole and I are feeling super, super generous today, right? So instead of it being $235 for everybody to get enrolled, we're actually going to make it $185. Now, you have to promise me that money that you save, you're going to go ahead and use it to fund, your first crypto portfolio. You're going to use it to purchase, your first NFT and resell it, right? But with that being said, that's going to give you access for 30 days. After 30 days, if you have not waived your monthly fee, but you make the decision that I want to continue to access these resources, right? You will have the option to pay $175 a month to do so, right? Now, just here in a second, I'm actually going to break down how you can get rid of those monthly fees or waive them, because I'm a firm believer that, after you run across a Nicole Hill or an Alicia All, you should truly be putting more money in your pocket than you're actually taking out of it, right? So with that being said, what is your first 72 hours to maybe 1 week going to look like in this space, right? You're immediately going to get started, and you're going to see several of hundreds of thousands of people who look just like you and I winning at an accelerated rate, right? And immediately after you realize the simplicity of it, how hands-on we are, helping you set up your crypto portfolios, making sure you have the right security so, things that you have set up can't get hacked. You're immediately going to start to say, okay, well, I know a lot of other people who want to participate in cryptocurrency, but they were just like me. They were a novice to it. They didn't really understand where exactly to start, right? Well, if you choose to, share the positive experiences that you're having and share the access that you have with anybody else, The company that we partner with has a scholarship program set up called 2 and Free, where basically once 2 individuals get started, it's now going to put you in a position where you're now getting access to this information literally for free, right? So, think about it right now. If you were to, purchase a cryptocurrency at 15 cents and it hits $1, right? You're probably going to start to tell your friends about that positive experiences that you're having, right? And, so with that being said, I don't want us to get, nervous about the fact that there's an incentive for you sharing positive news with people, because we all have apps on our phone right now that have a similar experience. Apps like Uber Eats, Uber, DoorDash, Cash App, PayPal, Postmates, Fashion Nova will literally pay you every time somebody downloads one of those apps from your referral link, because they understand that people trust people, right? When my friends first came to me and said, hey, Alicia, we can stay in strangers' houses using this app called Airbnb, I personally did not trust the safety of it. But after watching them go on trip after trip, time after time again, and living their best life, I decided to cave in and give it a try, right? Now, because I did that, I got $60 off my first day and they got $20 off a future stay. So it was a win-win for both parties. Well, the same thing is going to apply here. If you step into this space and you decide you want to keep it a secret from your network that you are actually getting educated on one of the largest wealth transfers that's probably about to happen in our generation, right? You can keep that a secret. You don't have to share it with anybody. But, I tell people all the time, it's almost like having the cure for cancer, right? Why would you not want to share it with somebody? So for the people who had a light bulb in their head go off and say, okay, I know way more than 2 people that don't really like their jobs, and they would probably love to be like Alicia and Nicole, where they retire underneath the age of 25, right? Or I know way more than 2 people that just recently had kids, and they would probably love to spend, more time with their family than they do with their boss, right? You look at the hours that you spend at your job compared to what you actually spend with your family, and you're actually at work more than you're actually at home in certain cases, right? I know way more than 2 people that they love the expensive lifestyle. They love the drip, the going out to eat, the trips, whatever the case may be. But they're not necessarily making enough money to cover it, right? Well, for the people who have that bright idea going off, there's actually a separate stream of income where you can now start to get paid residual income, right, through this. So when the third person gets started, it's now putting you in a position where you're making $150 a month, or that's $37.50 every single Friday. That's now actually going to start to hit your bank account, as a platinum 150 within this space. Now, all great things in life are going to start small, but I want you all to ask yourself this question right now. If on Friday when you get paid, if your check was $150 shorter, would you notice, right? Yes or yes? Because I'm gonna be honest, I know when I was working, at Microsoft, if my check was off literally by like more than $20, I'm immediately going to my pay stub and trying to figure out like what got deducted, right? Like what's missing, right? So although it seems like a small or minute amount of money, you got to understand that like $150 is actually $150, right? But when people ask, myself or Nicole, how do we grow our organization from 2 people in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area to over 2,000 plus people all around the globe? I don't even want you all to think this is limited to the United States. There's literally people in our investment group trading in the Netherlands, trading in the Bahamas, trading down in Central America, trading out in Aruba. Like literally, you name a country, we're probably attached to it. Well, simply put, we put the focal point on recreating as many positive experiences as we could for everybody who stepped into our business. We made sure they were getting educated. We made sure, their questions were getting answered. We made sure that they were seeing the results of it, right? And naturally, the positive news started to spread like wildfire. And about 2 weeks into this, I looked up and I was a platinum 600 in this space, right? So as a college student, I'm literally making now $600 a month in residual income, or $150 every single week, right? And I get it. That might not sound like life-changing money to a lot of you all, but I want you all to think about what type of bills could you pay right now with the extra $600 a month coming in, right? How much debt could you start to pay down with the extra $600? For all of you all who are already financially stable, there's not really a crunch on your pockets. Think about what your crypto portfolio would look like if now you have a minimum of $600 every single month, $7,200 every single year on autopilot, just going straight into cryptocurrencies, right? For the next 12 months, right? Well, I'm not going to bore you all with talking through this step by step, but I do want you all to understand, the magnitude of it. It spans over the chairman's 750. And simply put, that means that everybody on this call listening to my voice is going to have the potential to make up to $750,000 a month in residual income. That does not include whatever you make from investing. These are 2 separate streams of income. So when people ask me, why did you walk away from your job making 6 figures? You know, when I looked at the hierarchy of my company, there was only one CEO. There was only one highest paid position, right? And, you know, you had to wait until that person either died, retired, or got fired before you would even become eligible to be in a position like that, right? But when I look at our company, we have several chairman 750s within the entire organization right now, right? So there's more than enough room for any of us on this call to obtain that, right? So I want to introduce you all to one of my now mentors. His name is Bryce Thompson. He's actually the youngest and fastest chairman 750 within I Am Mastery Academy. And, you know, this is a snippet of a Forbes article that was written about Bryce donating over $100,000 of scholarships back to HBCU college students, right? And, you know, the reason why I wanted to share this testimony with you all today, you know, this Forbes article, was just to put it into perspective that, you know, investing isn't something that a lot of us grew up saying we were passionate about, right? I didn't grow up saying I was going to be an investor. But what we realized is that our passions wasn't necessarily going to provide the lifestyle that we desire. I looked at a lot of people around me who had been working at my job for, you know, 10 to 20 years. And, you know, they weren't necessarily living the way I wanted to live, right? And then I saw individuals like Bryce Thompson who were only, you know, 2 to 3 years in this vehicle who were living the lifestyle that I desire. So I said to myself, okay, well, let me make something my obsession for a short period of time so that way I can actually go out and do the things that I'm passionate about at a 10x level. See, that business you want to start, that clothing line that you're starting, you know, that rap career that you need to fund, all those initiatives that you care so much about, you know, helping people with disabilities, helping domestic violence victims, helping, you know, kids go back to college, whatever it is for you, keep that passion. But I want you to ask yourself, how would you be able to execute that passion if you had access to more capital right now? And that's what this thing is about. Get in a vehicle that's moving fast so you can generate more money and then go and do what it is that, you know, you truly care about. I tell people all the time, if your passion isn't going to make you $1 million, then, you know, we need to be doing something on the side so you can still live the life you want while you're doing what you love to do. So with that being said, now that you've been positioned in front of all the information, you see everything that you're going to get access to, you see, you know, how simple it is, you understand that you're going to have access to a support system. Now you got to ask yourself, when you step into this thing, what are you actually going to become, right? Who are you going to be? Are you going to be a customer only, somebody who puts in part-time efforts, and you will get part-time results? I don't want anybody on this call to think that just because you enrolled, you are guaranteed to be a millionaire, right? Although everybody on this call has the possibility to do that, unfortunately, people are not going to come into this space and stay consistent. People are not going to come into this space and actually remain coachable, right? But, you know, are you going to at least be a customer who goes to and free? You know, and I recommend this to everybody who I mentor personally, because you got to think about it. This might not be the end all be all for you. This might just be something you do on the side while you go and do whatever it is you love to do. And that's okay. But you might be connected to an Alicia Hall. You might be connected to a Nicole Hill, where once you put them in front of this information, not only do they go out to change their own lives drastically and change their families' lives drastically, but even more importantly, they position thousands of other people in front of the same set of information so they can get a shot at it too, right? Or are you going to be a customer helping others? Somebody who decides to go all in, right? See, the reason why Nicole and I made a decision to participate in all aspects of this business is because when we looked at extremely wealthy people, we realized that they solve solutions for a lot of people, right? And Zig Ziglar has a quote: the more people you help get what they want, you will inevitably get what you want, right? So, you know, look at Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Facebook and WhatsApp, now called Metaverse, right? In perfect alignment with what we're doing, you know, within crypto. You know, he understood that, okay, let me create these social platforms so people can stay connected. He solved the problem of keeping people, you know, intertwined with each other. You look at Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon. He solved the issue of you being able to order a product right now and it literally being delivered to your house in less than 24 hours, right? So you got to ask yourself, what am I going to become? I now know something that less than 3% of the population actively participates on, right? And there's going to be two types of people after I end this Zoom call. There's going to be the spectator and the spectators. See, spectators sit back and they watch the success happen for other people. They come up with a million reasons why it's not the right time for them to start, right? I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. Guys, it's never going to be the right time for you to become a millionaire. You got to make a decision to make the right time, right? When I first got started, I'm a broke college student. I'm working 30 hours a week at my internship and I'm taking 21 credits to graduate on time. I did not have a lot of capital and I did not have a lot of free time, but I saw something like this and I realized this was going to be the solution to the problem that I was currently in. So I decided that I had to make it work, right? You know, so with that being said, or are you going to be the spectator, the person who actually goes out and makes it happen? The next time we host a call like this, the next time we have an event in person, you're going to be the individual standing up, sharing your testimony about what this thing has done for you, right? For those of you all who are ready to get started and you want to take advantage of that promotion I told you guys about, the first thing I want you all to do is reach back out to the person who sent you this Zoom link. And the first thing I want you to do is thank them, right? For literally thinking about you as somebody who could benefit from this information. But even more importantly, let them know you're ready to get enrolled. They will send you the link. It takes less than 5 minutes to get this thing set up. After this, they'll be walking with you step by step, making sure you have all the information that you need to go on and, you know, achieve your financial desires, right? So best of luck in whatever it is you all decide to do. I'm personally looking forward to working with all of you guys. And I appreciate all of you individuals for staying locked in with us this entire time and getting the information you need to get to the next level.